I'm about to reveal something pretty personal. This isn't something I'm normally open about. Last year when I started college, I didn't tell anyone about this important part of me. I let people figure it out for themselves. Fast forward to today, I stand in front of you, coming out as a proud, confident magician. Thank you. Coming out speeches are a really big deal. In them, people suppress an identity and wait just until they're surrounded by the right group of people. And once they're sure they are, bam, they let the cat out of the bag and reveal whatever secret they've been hiding. As crazy as this sounds, for me, telling people I'm a magician is like coming out of the closet. Let's talk about why that is. Why would I hesitate to disclose something kind of cool? Something that doesn't seem to deserve such hiding? To help explain my point, let's look at this man, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. FDR always made sure he was seated before his cabinet would enter, or before the TV camera started rolling. Today, people know him as the 32nd president, and often forget the guy had polio. He wasn't trying to fool others and think he didn't have paralyzed legs. He wanted people to view him for his poise, to view him for his eloquence, to view him for all the things that make him presidential, not the guy with polio. Yale law professor Kenji Yoshino calls this covering. FDR was hiding the part of himself that opened up alternative judgment by those around him. Just like FDR presented himself in a way he wanted to be known, each and every one of you can shape the labels others use to describe you. You have the power to put on any facade and impact the identities others associate you with. But shaping these labels comes only after you know yourself and know what you want to be known for. To think about this, ask yourself 3 questions. How do others currently describe me? What label do I want? And if those 2 answers do not match, what can I change? Throughout middle school, people knew me as the magic guy. Before bar and bat mitzvahs, I would load my pockets with magic tricks to make sure when other people saw me, they saw a magician. For years, this skill was my crutch, until one day I realized I didn't want to be known as the magic guy anymore. I wanted to be known for who I was, not what I was. The first chance I had to change others' perception was the summer before my freshman year of high school. I was 14 years old at a hot, mosquito-infested, week-long summer camp. I was in the youngest age group, so I didn't know anyone, and no one knew me. That week, I introduced myself a little differently. Instead of telling people right off the bat that I'm a magician, I covered that I'm secretly Harry Potter. Most people had no idea until the final night. There was a talent show. You know I jumped at that opportunity, but this time I took a different approach. I put more emphasis on the trick, on my personality and my humor, and less so on the trick. I had a 5-minute time limit, but I milked a single card trick for 17 minutes. I couldn't help myself. The campers were having so much fun. The counselors were having so much fun. I was having so much fun. More fun than I had ever had on stage. After the show, a girl came up to me and said something so simple, so sincere, yet so special. With a beaming smile, she said, "Wow, you were so funny. I want to be friends with you." Now, this wasn't the first time I had been praised for a performance. This wasn't even the first time my voice had cracked on stage. However, this was the first time I was being recognized for more than just my hobbies. Simply by prioritizing the humor over the trick itself, I was no longer making fans. For the first time, I was making genuine friends. For the first time in my life, people weren't introducing me to others by saying, "Hey, I know this magician who's a really cool guy." Now they said, "I know this really cool guy. Also, get this, he's a magician." This only happened because I took tangible steps to reinforce how I wanted others to view me. I wanted people to look at me for my positivity. I wanted people to look at me for my sense of humor. I wanted people to look at me for being David. Think about what nouns, facts, or adjectives those around you associate you with. How do you introduce yourself when meeting others? What information do you disclose or share about yourself during your icebreakers? It also works the other way around, though. I'm sure we all have that one friend with a super unique story about them, or a super cool identity that I know you just want to tell when you introduce them. But maybe that's not your place. Maybe when they introduce themselves, they're not sharing that information for a reason. Ask this simple question, and I promise you'll be a better friend. "Hey, do you mind if I tell people blank?" Asking this simple question, it sounds harmless, but it could actually prevent you from yanking someone out of their closet. And all the while, you could be a better friend. Think about the way you introduce yourself when meeting others. Know that how you present yourself affects how others view you. When people meet me, the first thing they meet is not Magic David. They meet this David. Think about what adjectives, facts, those around you associate you with. And know yourself. Make sure the identity you want matches the one others assign to you. What do you want to be known for? Thank you.